Golta, we know that in Montana there's a lot of hunters, a lot of gun enthusiasts, so you might as well shop local when you're looking for your next firearm or accessory, huh?
Selway Armory, they got the best prices around and the best service you'll find anywhere. As the guys over there will tell you, shop with Selway Armory for a year. We guarantee you'll save some money.
The other thing is they have great knowledge. There's a lot of questions that people have about the right styles and types to suit them and what it is that they're trying to do, and all the guys over at Selway Armory know their firearms and ammunition and accessories inside and out.
With locations in both Missoula and Bozeman, Selway Armory has some specialty products as well, including full Sig Sauer inventory for your best in handguns and much, much more.
Like Coulter said, 2 brick-and-mortar locations, 1 in Missoula, 1 in Bozeman, and also online. Tremendous inventory there. They'll ship everything you want. SelwayArmory.com.
What, 50 yards of rushing and all in that last fourth quarter there?
Yeah, I think, obviously tip of the hat to Kane and our defensive staff. Put together a great plan. Got to the quarterback at the end of the first half there. That obviously changes the game tremendously when you're playing your second-string quarterback and eventually your third-string quarterback. I thought that Southern Utah showed a lot of fight in the second half defensively, and, that was an interesting way to start the game. I mean, I didn't really see us having that kind of an outpouring of scoring in the first half, and certainly created some momentum for ourselves with some takeaways. I thought our defense, regardless of the situation, really, until kind of the end of the game, when we had some young guys in, really stood tall, and so I was very proud of them.
A lot of guys got to touch the ball. A lot of new guys haven't seen out there, scored some touchdowns.
Yeah, we had a couple guys today. 3 guys I think got their first touchdown, and that was awesome. And we had some things in the game plan for each one of those guys, and it was nice to see them execute.
Questions? You talked this week about the offense getting put in a box, getting outside the box. So creative. So what do you think of just some of the stuff now?
Yeah, I think that was part of the idea. I mean, I think there's still obviously some things that we can improve upon. And getting into some better plays, and we got very conservative in the second half by design, trying to get out of there. We had some guys that got nicked up a little bit and wanted to make sure that we didn't have any further injuries. But I thought that playing aggressive, playing to win, calling the game to put the pressure on the defense, I thought he did a nice job of that. I think our communication, especially in the first half on some sudden change situations, was much better with him on the field as well.
Why did you want to maybe mix up some of the personnel, that was getting involved offensively?
Well, I think it's kind of that time of the year where we've got some guys with some injuries. Travis wasn't 100% healthy coming into this game, and that dictated having Jaden Smith up at the slot receiver spot. We've had kind of, Willie goes down, then Coy went down for a couple weeks, and then we had, even Mark Estes, who played a significant role last week, but he's been kind of nursing a hamstring, and so that created an opportunity for Tyrone Marshall in the slot, and it was nice to see the tight ends get a touchdown catch. It's been a while since we've done that, so that was awesome.
Was that part of the game plan to get Derek Snell more involved?
Yeah, he's got really good ball skills. I mean, he really does, and he's a talented young man. And we always carry things in the game plan, but we kind of prioritize getting those called early in the game this week.
Losing your last 2 games, just how refreshing is it to be able to get a win?
Yeah, getting a win is always important. Obviously we've got another test as we go down to Northern Colorado next week, and it's not going to get any easier down the stretch. I mean, they play very well at home, and we can't look ahead. This is, as I said on Monday when we spoke, this is a one game at a time type of mindset that we've got to have.
With having Matt on the sideline, was it as smooth as you thought it might be?
Yeah, I mean, as many personnel groups as we operate with, there's some organized chaos that goes on, and we still had a couple of mistakes in the second half, especially when we were kind of shuffling some other guys in that don't normally play within those packages. But certainly in the first half, one of the things that happens a lot of times, like after sudden change, like after a turnover, for example, there can be a little bit of chaos. I thought having him on the sideline really helped to, kind of have one boss and just push that forward. And I think we got some really good feedback from both Nate Potter and Eric Frazier upstairs.
Tucker let one of those throws rip to Derek Snell up the seam, and then he seems like that helped him get in a rhythm. You've talked about that before. I mean,
yeah.
You think like he had more confidence?
Yeah, well, he kind of let the ball go at times today, and I thought that was good. And there's still some things that we need to work on within that game, but we're going to, need that progression to continue.
The identity's kind of always been a second-half team. How nice was it today to jump out to a 21-0 lead in the first?
Yeah, that was changed the game, clearly, and made things a little less consequential perhaps in the second half, allowed us to be a little bit more conservative, rest some guys, and so that was very refreshing. I think one of the things we talked about coming out of this game was that we wanted to be the most excited team to play when we took the field on Saturday, and I think our energy was very good from the jump, and so that definitely that momentum carried through, and we made some plays.
Considering how involved Travis was and how big of a part of the offense he was a few weeks ago, how much growth do you think that today's game shows, considering how everyone else was involved?
Next man up mentality, right? I mean, you know, those guys came here to play, and I'm sure Jaden Smith doesn't mind catching touchdown passes, and so, you know, I think those guys did a nice job of taking advantage of their opportunity. I mean, that's the whole key, right? I mean, you never know when your number's going to be called, and if you perform well, then that creates opportunities for you in the future, and I'm hopeful that that's what we saw out of those young guys.
Was it by design to not run Travis out of Wildcat this week?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we kind of we carried that package, and we had Kevin operate it. And so he went to his third option of the quarterback down on the goal line, so that was kind of impressive.
Can we expect to see Tucker catch more touchdowns?
No.
You talked about the edge you want the defense to play with. Did you feel like they refound that today?
Yeah, there's no doubt. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now, and, you know, in the last 2 weeks, you know, our starters have given up one offensive touchdown in 2 weeks. And so, you know, obviously we gave up one late, but I thought those guys, I mean, they swarmed to the ball. They were physical tacklers. I was really pleased with the way they played on third down. And so, I think, again, tip of the hat to the defensive players and the defensive staff for coming up with a great game plan.
You talked about the energy being very high early. How much did Troy have to do with that, just with the way he was flying around?
Yeah, he made some plays early on. He's an impact player on the edge of the defense, and we feel like we've got two guys on the edge. You know, you put him on the other side, and he was able to do some great things as well. And so you always want to have good players on the edge of your defense, especially in a 3-4 base, and we feel like we have that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Interception, just kind of walk us through that. Was it almost surprising that he threw it almost right to you there?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I was kind of expecting him to throw it away, but I know that it was a screen play, and Derek Marks held the running back in, so quarterback didn't really have anybody to throw to, and so I thought he was going to throw it away, but he happened to throw it right to me. So.
Yeah. You guys had the quarterback confused all day. How were you able to do it?
Just winning our one-on-ones, man, getting great rushes up front, great coverage in the backfield. But, yeah, I mean, everybody's just doing their job, executing their assignment.
Coach Choate talked about the edge he hopes you guys play with defensively. Seems like you refound that today. What went into being able to perform like you guys did?
Just a big week of preparation. Definitely an attitude change for sure. I mean, fight through a little adversity that we have. It definitely calls for a change of attitude, and that's what we did, and we just went out and capitalized when we had the opportunities to.
What was this week like, having come off of 2 straight losses, especially the last week at North Dakota?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just kind of what was this week like preparing for this game?
Mm-hmm. It was important for dudes to stay positive. So that was our mindset. That was our focus, stay positive, and just feed off of each other's energy and just come in and just, like I said, just execute our assignment. And we know how good we can play when we play. So I just come in and just do what we can.
So how refreshing is it to, you know, get a win after not doing so?
It feels good for sure. It feels good, yeah, especially off the tough 2 weeks that we had. But yeah, it feels good to get back on track for sure.
To jump out to such a big lead, that's something that usually hasn't happened for you guys, to go up 21-0, 28-0. How did that feel?
It felt good. I mean, at that point, the score really wasn't a concern for us. It was just continuing to do our job. We knew that things can turn around quickly, and that if we stopped doing what we needed to do, then it could be a completely different game. So, I mean, like I say, it was good to get out in front, but, I mean, just it was important for us to keep executing.
And, you know, it wasn't just your interception. The defense had 4 takeaways. Mm-hmm. The importance of that seemed big in this game to shut them down.
Huge, for sure. I mean, we preach takeaways, getting the ball back. Said a lot of guys did what they could today. They played well, and they executed, and they capitalized when they had opportunities, and it was good to see.
Having Josh Hill back healthy, what does that bring you guys' defense?
Man, he brings a lot of energy. He likes to come up and hit, and it's fun to play around him.
How much do you think that the offense changes for you guys when, you know, there are so many other different players getting involved?
I mean, our offense prides itself on being really dynamic. And so when they're able to move the ball that they can and get the ball in different players' hands, it's exciting to watch. They can be really explosive. So, I mean, it's good to see them get back on track, too.
All right, thanks, Amandre.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Josh, seems like you guys were able to stay a step ahead defensively the whole day. How were you guys able to do it?
I think it just came down to our fundamentals and some of the things that we hadn't done well the last 2 games that we needed to do well to win to win some more games. And I think it just came down to like aligning correctly, making sure that we all had our correct fits and tackling.
After a couple losses, just how nice is it to come out here and get a win for the first time in a few weeks?
Yeah, no, it feels good. I mean, we haven't won a game in a few weeks now with the bye week, and we just hadn't put our best football out there either. And it's tough knowing that, and knowing that there's not anything that you can do about it until the next weekend. And last weekend hurt. I think it was motivating for our team though, especially to be like, we're a better football team than this, and we know it. We need to go out and show it.
This week specifically, did you sense any sort of discouragement with the team, or was it just kind of one game at a time? Sort of
I mean, there was discouragement after the game on Saturday last week, but I think that we responded really well. We had a good week of practice, and we came out here and we played a lot better this week.
When Troy is around the ball as much as he was today in the first half, what does that do just for the energy of the defense?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, Troy's always around the ball. He's flying all over the field, making plays in the backfield, making, he had a couple sacks today maybe, right all in the quarterback's face. And he's such a dynamic player that he's able to do a lot of those different things that we need him to do on defense.
Choate talks so much about getting you guys to play at the edge that he feels is necessary. You showed flashes of it, but this seemed like the most sustained you guys have been able to do that. How are you able to channel it today?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that comes just with like the frustration of losing, especially after we'd been on a win streak for a while, and we kind of got humbled, and like I think it made us take the next step though as a football program coming into November.
How much can you sense, as the game's going on, the front seven is making a difference?
It's a lot easier to play linebacker. I can tell you that. When those guys are doing what they do up front and they're doing it well, it makes my job and the rest of the guys in the back end job a lot easier. As far as seeing fits goes, and I mean those guys are flying around and making plays in the backfield all day, putting pressure on the quarterback. It's making him, we had, I don't know how many sacks we had today, but quite a few. It's pretty hard to get an offense going when you can't run the ball and the defensive line's in your face every pass play.
When you guys emphasize takeaways, pressuring the quarterback, when you are able to do that, did it just feel like things clicked today, I guess?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just how nice.
I mean, it was just one of those days where we were getting home on a lot of our pressures, and we were in the right spot at the right time for a lot of those plays too. And I mean, I know that we emphasize it every day in practice, getting the ball away, and there's kind of been a heightened sense of urgency the last few weeks when we haven't been getting as many turnovers. It's something that we know that we need to do as a defense.
All right,
thanks, guys.
Lady got your number called before, but in a Big Sky game like this, what's the mental preparation like when you're getting ready for a conference game?
It's kind of the same. I approach everything like that I'm going to play, know my spots, and this week my preparation was, I would say it was the same. Just knowing that we had some guys out and that I'd have to step up, but I always kind of have that mindset where it's the next guy up.
The shovel pass was kind of the first big offensive play, set up the first touchdown. Can you just walk us through that play, describe how it worked?
That play is it's kind of designed to work against a lot of pressure. So by the time I turned, the first line of defense was past me. So it was just turning and following my blocks, Kind of gotten out into some open space and got caught a little bit at the end, but no, it was a good play.
You guys ran so much creative stuff on offense. So what was the preparation like this week, and how fun is that when you guys are doing some unorthodox things?
It's a lot of fun, and it takes a little bit more, if you kind of stray away from our DNA stuff, it takes a little bit more repetition to kind of get that stuff down, but I think it's a lot more fun of an offense to run, and I feel like we get a lot more guys' looks.
How do you think the running backs have coped through the last few weeks of kind of having Isaiah a little bit in and out of the lineup, knowing that you still have to go out there and get those yards?
What I really like about our group is that we all push each other. We all kind of have the next man up mentality. Everybody takes reps. Everybody knows what's going on, and we get together like separately too and talk over things. And it's a really good group to be a part of. And turns out we can all kind of play a bit, so it works out.
How important is it at this time of year to have you and some of the guys kind of stepping up and starting to contribute more?
I think it's really important. I mean, we can't have like a one guy and he goes out and it kind of all just falls apart. You know, we need dudes that can roll, especially like as games wear on, dudes get tired. We need people we can throw in there and make the plays that need to be made.
How good did it feel to just put up 42 and a half?
It felt really good, especially after the last 2 games, kind of struggling on the offensive side of the ball. You know, I felt like we were really clicking and it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of energy. Everybody was bringing it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Selway Armory, Montana's firearms superstore, is now open for business and hiring all positions. If you want an exciting job with great compensation and one where you can become an expert in the field, put your application in now at Selway Armory. You can apply in person at their new location at the corner of Jackrabbit and Baxter, or send in your application via email to employment@selwayarmory.com. That's employment@selwayarmory.com. Turn your passion into a profession with Selway Armory, Montana's firearms superstore.